Hey friends, welcome back to Call Her Creator, the podcast for bold women who are building something real, showing up online and monetizing their magic without selling their soul. Today's episode is powered by Stan, your all-in-one creator store. I've used Stan to monetize my genius and I want you to do the same. You can learn more by going to stan.store, Call Her Creator. Today's episode is for you if you've ever felt like your audience went quiet. Your sales have slowed down, or maybe your content just isn't hitting anymore. We're talking about the comeback campaign, how to bounce back after a slow season, how to re-engage your audience, and how to rebuild momentum without starting over from scratch. Because here's the truth. Every creator, entrepreneur, or service provider, they hit a plateau. But that doesn't mean that they've failed. It actually means that it's time to pivot. It's time to reset. It's time for you to make your comeback strategic. I've done this. I helped my clients do this. And today I'm going to show you exactly how to do this yourself. Now, before we get started, I wanted to shout out my friend Lee, who is a travel creator and founder of Mouska Planner. She left me an amazing review on Apple Podcasts. I hope you guys will do the same. It says, "Perfect bite-sized nuggets. I absolutely love Katelyn's podcast. As someone who feels totally clueless when it comes to growing on Instagram, her bite-sized episodes are exactly what I need. They're packed with helpful, actionable tips and usually under 30 minutes, perfect for my daily walk. Katelyn makes social media feel less overwhelming and more doable." I'd love for all of you to tell me how I'm helping you with social media. Please head over to Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, leave me a review, and you could be featured on a future episode. All right, so we're talking about a comeback moment, right? And today I'm going to share behind the scenes of my own personal comeback because we all know that Instagram has the ebbs and the flows. You could be doing really, really well, and then you could be crickets, and then, oh, we're back to doing really, really well. And it just starts feeling a little heavy. So let me take you guys back for a second. My engagement was down. Client projects were draining me, and I hadn't sold a digital product in weeks, honestly. I wasn't promoting them. They weren't being sold. I was really honestly like in agency mode, mom mode, business owner who is burnt out AF mode. So I started believing that I'd missed my window, that things had just slowed down for good. There was no coming back. It was the end, but it wasn't. I now what I call a money walk. I went on a money walk that day, and money walks are where you put on your headphones, you listen to a podcast, and you kind of get back in the zone of things. And most people will go to yoga or their journal or they'll do something. I go on my walks and they always bring me back. So I took my money walk and something sparked me to relaunch my $19 Reels challenge. Now, I didn't want to do a full rebrand. I knew it was a good product. I was not looking to totally reinvent the wheel or start all over from scratch. I just wanted a comeback campaign based on something that I knew had already worked in the past. It just maybe needed some fresh eyes, new energy, a better message. So if you haven't heard my story of the $19 Reels challenge, I sold a $19 digital product using Stan Store and made $10,000 in one weekend. It was like the wildest, most fun time as a creator because it was really my first time launching a product. This was back in 2021. That worked out for a while. I was promoting it all the time, and then I kind of moved on to other things. Obviously, I was doing more coaching. I started my membership, which is kind of more passive for me. So I just took kind of a hiatus from promoting the Reels challenge. But going back to my engagement down, me being burnt out, I knew that I had a good product and I maybe just needed to reignite the magic. So I decided I would either re-engage my audience or build a new audience from scratch, get some new eyes using a system that I'm going to walk you guys through today. So what is a comeback campaign? A comeback campaign is a short-term but high-intention content push, and it's designed to help you re-engage your audience, make them excited again, reposition an offer that maybe lost traction or you haven't talked about it in a while. It got lost in the noise. and it's meant to help you build momentum fast without burning out or overproducing. So the thing with comeback campaigns is it's not about reinventing everything. It's more about resetting intentionally. So you're not just starting over, you're just turning the lights back on. Think of a comeback campaign like jump-starting a car battery. You're not replacing the engine, you're not rebuilding the car or driving cross country. You're just giving it a quick little powerful spark to get things moving again. Fast, focused energy that wakes everything back up. So just like jump-starting a car, a comeback campaign helps you reconnect with your audience. You turn the key, reposition an offer, get the wheels turning, and then build momentum quickly without a full overhaul. So how do we do this? This sounds amazing, Katelyn. Help me make more money by being more lazy. Just kidding. This is a 3-step comeback campaign framework that I'm going to break down for you. So step 1 is you got to do a little bit of research. You need to audit your audience and your offers. And if you have a stand store, this is so easy to do. Like I'm going to pull it up right now, but if I go to my stand store and then I never even knew all of this was in here until one day when I was thinking about relaunching. Log into your stand store, go to analytics, and then you can kind of like put in your calendar like based on the last 7 days, 14 days, 30 days, custom range, whatever. And it's going to show you your store visits, your total revenue, your leads. And if you scroll down, you'll see a bar graph where my customers come from. And then you'll also see where do my customers go. And if you scroll on even further, you've got a list of all of your products based by the views that it gets on those landing pages, the orders that you get, the conversion rate, and then the revenue that you're making. So I went to this and I was like, okay, I can see that the highest converting page was my Reels challenge. And I can also see that only so many orders had been done in a while. So I'm like, okay, it's a high converting page. So if I start promoting this again, I can probably get it converting again. So that's kind of where you can peak if you've got a stand store. If not, just ask yourself these questions. What have I sold before that worked? Where did I get the most engagement? Was it on Instagram, Facebook, email marketing? What was pushing that? What was driving that traffic? And then what do people still ask me for? Does it relate to an older offer that I haven't touched or revamped or launched in a while? Or if it's something completely new, then the comeback campaign is not going to work for you. So we need to kind of go with whatever you already have, okay? So get back in your DMs, look at your best performing reels, your email replies. What are the people asking for? You want to look for signs of life. That's where your comeback starts. So an example for me was that $19 reel challenge. It had already sold before. I had testimonials from it. I had conversions from it. I had a really successful story from it. I just needed to maybe reposition it, dust it off. So I had some time and I decided I was going to reignite this challenge, but I was also going to add some sparkle to it, which you do not have to do this part. I just did it because that's who I am as a person. I get giddy in Canva and love over delivering. So I was like, okay, it's a 30-day Reels challenge for $19. I'm going to make it a 60 days Reels challenge. So I basically doubled the challenge and added more Reels prompts. And then I also increased the price a little bit. I actually should have probably increased it more. So if you're listening to this, you should totally go grab it before I increase the price, but I only increased the price by $6. I'm in a mastermind right now with Chris and Lori Harder, and Chris always gives like specific equations to make sure you're like charging enough. And I know if he heard this podcast, he'd probably roll over because he would tell me, okay, Katelyn, how much time did you spend revamping it? Okay, what's your hourly rate? Okay, did you charge by that? And I did not, guys. Just a girl over delivering over here. So with this 60-day Reels challenge, I also added in a freebie too that was collecting dust. It was my Instagram profile audit. I was not promoting that. There was no way to even get that anymore. So I'm like, let me add this in too because it's only going to help them with their Reels challenge. Because the profile audit actually helps you get discovered on Instagram, helps you attract the right audience to your profile. So you've got both of those are working hand in hand. And I'm just like, okay, let's put these together. So I put them together and I actually ended up renaming it. It is now called the 60 Days Reels Challenge and Insta Growth Pack, just because I added in some stuff there. And I relaunched. Okay. So how did I relaunch? How do you promote it without doing a full launch, but like talk about it enough to where people are going to want to buy it, know that it's there, know that it's revamped, that they want it. So step 2 of the comeback campaign is to promote it using the rule of 3. So if you've been here for a while, you know I love the rule of 3. I have a detailed episode on this. It's called The Rule of 3. It's episode 74 and it's only 7 minutes. So go back, pause this, and go listen to that episode if you need a refresh on the rule of 3 strategy. But basically, you take one content idea, you turn it into 3 pieces of content using a trending audio reel, a talking head reel, and then a reel with music. And there's a big emphasis on the hook overlay in the caption. So again, that is all explained to you in detail in under 7 minutes on episode 74, The Rule of 3. So go listen to that if you haven't. But this is how I built momentum without burning out. I didn't have to sit there and put together a full week of promotional material for this relaunch. I just kind of said, let me use the rule of 3 and start talking about it again naturally, how I do. And so, yeah, I relaunched it that way. When I relaunched my Reels challenge, I didn't make new content every day. I'm telling you, it was 3 pieces of content. And I had one main goal, one main message, which was you don't need a big following to grow with Reels. And so I took that one main topic and turned it into those 3 different Reel ideas that I told you about. So with this strategy, you're creating consistency, you're building trust, and it makes your offer feel more like a movement because you're talking about it. Now, once you've done the promotional part, then it's time to monetize that momentum. And that's where step 3 comes into play. So here's where most people fall off. They build the hype, they talk about it, but then they don't really give people a place to go. So here's what I did and what you should do too. First off is you've got this content that you're promoting. What's your clear call to action? Most people nowadays are using that call to action that says, comment the word XYZ and I'll DM it to you. Of course, that's what I'm doing too. I set up my DM automation with a keyword so that I could easily tell people to comment Reels or whatever it was. And then I DM them a link to my stand store where they could download the Reels guide. The other part of that is adding urgency. So I also added in like grab it now before the price increases, or, some other ideas are grab it now and I'll throw in a free XYZ. So there's 2 ways to kind of add in urgency, and that's adding a freebie, saying that you're going to raise the price, something to get them, that's to make them say, oh my gosh, I got to get it right now. So for my Reels challenge, I promoted it with a new add-on. You get an additional 30 days of Reels ideas. So it's now a 60 days challenge versus the original 30. And I added an Instagram profile optimization checklist. So that was my sense of urgency, was that you're getting all these really cool bonuses too for pretty inexpensive price. Now, part 4 of all of this, here's your takeaway checklist for launching this comeback. Like let's say you're going to do it this week. First step is choose your best performing offer or message. Okay. I told you you're going to go to your stand store and look at your analytics, or you're going to peek at your top performing Reels, or you're just going to go see what has been the best thing that you've sold. I think for me, I would probably put this on a Google document. So let's just say that you're putting this all out on a Google document. So step 1 is you're putting that pattern that you're seeing of whatever offer it was. Number 2, you're going to want to create your 3 pieces of content using the rule of 3. Again, go to episode 74 if you need to listen to that, but just go ahead and do them all at the same time so you have them. You can save them as drafts. I would post them with a day spaced in between just so you don't feel like you're a parrot. But if you want to post them 3 days in a row, that's totally fine too, because the cool thing about the rule of 3 is that you're talking about the same thing, but you're doing it in a way to where they don't know that you're talking about the same thing. So you won't sound like a parrot. All right. And then you're going to write your clear call to action. You're going to set up your DM automation. You can either do that within your stand store, or you can do it with ManyChat. It's automatically going to send the offer to them, so you're not having to sleep in your DMs. Then you're going to talk about it in stories for at least 3 to 5 days. I want you to bring it back up, tell them that you've brought it back, or, hit a pain point like, hey, are you struggling with this? Here's what you can do to help XYZ, blah, 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 promote whatever it is. On top of that, I also want you to send 2 emails to your list. Email number 1 could just be like a personal story that, naturally promotes that offer within that story. And then later on, you can do a direct sales email like, hey, last chance, blah, blah, blah. Now, most people will tell you need way more emails than that. I'm a simple kind of girl. Like, Keep it simple, stupid. So I only send 2 emails. If you want to send more, totally fine. And then the last part of all of this is to track your engagement, test your hooks, adjust as needed. You might launch this week and not get much traction. Okay, let's go back to the drawing board. Did your hooks change from the last time you promoted this? Did you promote it a different way last time? Like, you have to look at the data that you have to understand what's wrong. Don't just give up after a week. You do not need a full launch for all of this, guys, but you do need to look at your data because you're going to want clarity. You're going to want confidence in promoting it. And then you're going to want consistency, at least for the next 7 to 10 days of promoting it, right? So all in all, you're in a slow season. It does not mean you're behind. I'm kind of in a slow season right now. I was doing so good a couple months ago with my reels and they were getting a lot of views, and I'm back on the ebb again. The ebb and the flow. I'm in the ebb. I'm on the downward where my reels aren't doing that great right now, but I'm not giving up. I'm still promoting things. I'm still nurturing my audience. I'm still emailing. I'm still posting reels, not giving up. Because when you are in the slow season, it's actually a really good moment to take a chance to reset with more clarity than you had before. So I actually tell people to relish in these quiet times and review what worked in the past and maybe clean it up a little bit and refresh it and relaunch it. The thing that we have to remember is that your audience did not disappear. They just need to be reminded why they followed you in the first place, what you are known for, and how you can help them. You've got something worth coming back for, and I hope this episode helped you feel ready to start. Now, if it did, all I'm asking is for you to screenshot this episode, upload it to your stories, tag me, call her creator, and let's get you out there, sister. Let's talk about your comeback campaign. Better yet, if you're on a money walk right now, take that selfie of you walking, share it to your stories, and tell us about your comeback campaign. Can be your way. Katelyn told me I had to start talking about XYZ again. This is your total way to talk about it without sounding salesy. You act like I made you do it. Your story is not over, sister. It's just getting good. If you liked this episode, please leave me a review. I'm going to link my Reels Challenge and Instagram growth kit in the notes for you. So if you do want to grab that 60-day guide, feel free to grab that from the show notes. And I'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much for listening.